Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and we're going to be taking a look at the new Oakley Metas, the Houston model. This is a collaboration between Oakley and Meta. This is coming on the tail end of the Ray-Ban Meta. If you guys know, Oakley and Ray-Ban are both owned by the same company, which is Luxottica. So it was a good transition from the Ray-Ban styles into the Oakley style. Now, this is going to be purely an unboxing. We're going to take a look at the frames. We're going to take a look at what comes inside of them. I'll give you guys some opinion. This is not going to go into any type of the actual meta portion of the glasses. In other words, I'm not going to be talking about how to take pictures or do this or do that. That's going to be another video. This is going to be something that if you're looking to find out which pair is best for you, what comes in the box, and also at the end of this video I'll be trying them on. So if you guys want to see what they look like on somebody, that's what this video is going to be. So again, not getting really big into the technical aspect of it. This is just more of a show and tell, unboxings, initial impressions, and things like that. Now you see two boxes here. That's because I actually ended up picking up two of them. Now I'm calling this an unboxing, but if you see here, there's a little orange tab on both of these. That's already been opened. The reason for it is because the staff at the Oakley store, and I actually purchased both of these at an Oakley store, one on one store and one on the other. They asked you to open them just to make sure that the glasses are inside of the box. Apparently there were some people that were getting them and there was no glasses inside of them. So before you leave the store, they actually, kind of like ask you, hey, would you open them up just to make sure that the glasses are in there. So that's why you see that little tab is kind of broken right there, because obviously I wanted to make sure that they were in there. So I actually picked up two different models. There's quite a few different models of the Oakley Metas here. And when I say models, I mean color variations. There's only one frame model, which is the Houston HSTN here. I've got quite a few videos on Houston frames here on my channel. So if you guys are interested in, seeing what the regular glasses, not the Meta ones, look like, you can go ahead and look through my playlist of Oakley videos. But for Oakley and for Meta, this is going to be the Houston model. But within that model, there's a couple different frame colors and also lens colors. So what I did is, in my opinion, again, this is my opinion, I picked up what the entry-level model is going to be, and that's based on price. So they're starting at $399 US, and then I picked up one that was at the top end of that, which is $479. And I'll show you guys what the difference is and why it's a little bit more one versus the other. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this one here first. So you guys can see right there, this is the Houston model, and it does say frame is warm gray, and then lens is Prizm Ruby. So I ended up picking up this one. This is the one that's $399, because this is basically, because of the lens, because you have that Prizm Ruby lens in there, it's just a sunglass. So in other words, what that means is that if you want to wear them inside, it's still going to be the sunglass lens, the Prizm Ruby lens, so these don't change colors or anything like that. Now, the frame does allow you to pop those lenses out and put in clear lenses, put in prescription lenses or something like that, but when you purchase them, this is the way that they're going to come. So once you take that little tab off, basically you slide the sleeve off, and let's see if I can do that. Slide off the sleeve, come on, there we go. All right, so the sleeve slides off, and here is the box itself. You've got, again, that on the side, and you have the Oakley logo embossed right there, and then you have this little pull tab, and when you pull up on that, it kind of opens up like this. All right, so it's like a little gift that you get here. So it does say scan to get started. They do recommend that you download the Meta app so you can go ahead and pair the glasses and stuff like that. So they recommend that you download the app before you actually start messing around with the glasses. That way, you can set everything up. And then let me see if it says anything over here. No, it just says Meta and Oakley right there. So this is, let's see, you have a little tab right here, and you are able to get in there. So this should be your instructions. So get started, some instructions and stuff like that. What else is in here? It looks like a little booklet. Oh, this actually slides out. So say safety and warranty. Again, a little booklet right there. And then you have a microfiber cleaning cloth. This is branded. It says Oakley and Meta right there. So that is really cool. We'll slide that right back in there because we're not going to be using that right now. Same thing with the instructions and everything else. We will slide that right back in there as well. And then here is the case itself. So it's a nice hard case. You have the Oakley elliptical logo embossed on the top right there. This right here is actually an LED. It's a status LED, and then you have your charging port at the bottom, and it looks like this might be a little button right there. I'm not exactly sure. Now, my only experience with the Oakley Meta sunglasses is literally trying them on in the store, and I was pretty much trying on like dummy versions, demo versions in the store, so they weren't like actual live where you can use the AI assistant and stuff like that. So I haven't even taken a look at the case or anything like that, so that's really cool. It's an interesting form factor for the case. It's kind of flat on top, but it slopes down and then kind of rounded at the bottom. Okay, feels nice and sturdy, nice and hard, which is really good. All right, so when you open it up, and when I opened it up, the LED actually turned on. It says Oakley Meta at the top right there, and there are the glasses themselves. So you have this little kind of plastic arrow. I mean, if you guys can see it right there, and that maybe you can pull it up. Nope. Let's see. Oh, that came loose. All right, so let me see if I can just take the frame out. Yeah, I'm just going to take it out. Let's manhandle it and take it out. All right, I am getting all sorts of fingerprints on the lenses. Okay, here we go. We finally got it out. Let's take a look at the inside right there. This is probably where it's making contact with the frame to charge it. All right, and here is the glasses themselves. All right, so I think this little plastic thing was actually covering the port right there. Now it beeped in my hand, so I don't know if it's just because I took it out, but it did. You do have some stem covers right here, which we'll take those off. And then again, this frame is called Warm Gray. Now, this is the one that everybody's calling white just because it looks white, but it's the actual color is Warm Gray. And then the lenses are Prizm Ruby, which is that kind of reddish, orangish color lenses. So again, in my opinion, this is what I'm calling the entry-level model, $399 US. Just the sunglasses. Again, the lenses don't change colors or anything like that. So if you're looking for, just to experience what they are, this is probably what I would recommend. It's a cool color. I mean, obviously, you're gonna be able to see that the cameras and the LED and all that stuff is there because it's like a little black circle versus the white or warm gray frame. But this is the one that I picked up originally because I wanted to go ahead and kind of get it. I hadn't had any experience with the Ray-Ban model, so I wanted, just to pick something up that I was going to be able to use and stuff like that. While I'm, out and about, I figured inside I'm probably not going to be shooting too much video or taking pictures or anything like that. So I have, an assistant on my phone and stuff like that. So I didn't know how much I was going to get use out of these inside, but outside, obviously, always wear sunglasses, so this is what's going to come in handy. Now on the side you do have a gold elliptical icon right there. And I don't know if you guys can see it, there's a little hole right there. I'm wondering if that is a microphone. I think that might be a microphone. So you guys can see right there, there's also a microphone there. Again, what I'm assuming is a microphone, and then there's a couple little dots, little holes on the bottom of the stems right here. And then this is your speakers, so opening your design so you can see your speakers right there. And then you have a little LED right in there. It's actually blinking blue. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then one thing that I wanted to touch on these, which I don't see a lot of people talking about them, and it's also evident in the Ray-Ban model, is on the inside of the stem. Let me see. Yeah, it's right here. So I don't know if you guys can see that little disc right there. So this you can actually flip, and if you see, I kind of toggled it to one side, and what that does is it actually shuts off the battery. So it's like a little red button right there. I don't know if you guys can make that out. It shuts off the battery to the glasses. So if you want to conserve your battery, let's say you're not going to be doing any pictures or using the assistant or anything like that, but you just still want to wear your sunglasses, you can just shut that off, and then it conserves the battery. And then once you're ready to use it again, just kind of toggle it back. So I'm going from left to right, and then that toggles it back on. And let me see, that LED will start blinking. Yeah. So the LED is actually blinking white now, and now you're able to go ahead and use your, the electronic portion of your Oakley Meta sunglasses. So that is really cool. I don't hear a lot of people talking about that, but it makes a lot of sense. If you want to, just make sure that you preserve battery life and stuff like that, you can go ahead and use that. There's also what looks like to be a little hole right here. I don't know if that's a microphone. I think it might be a microphone. Then obviously the two little portions right here, which make contact from the frame to the case to go ahead and charge it. These nose pads are not rubberized, so again, these are designed, to kind of wear out when you do stuff like that. But what I can tell you is, when I've fit tested these in the store, they're very, very narrow. They're super snug, so if you have a wider face, I would definitely recommend that you try and get to a store and try them on before you purchase them, because even for me, I have more of a slim, longer face. They're snug. And not uncomfortable snug, but I did feel it when I had them on. So that I wanted to go ahead and make sure that I mentioned that, because it came as a surprise to me when I was wearing them. So let me go ahead and put all this back in here. We'll set this off to the side. So again, this is the warm gray frame with the Prizm Ruby lenses. And then we'll go ahead and take a look at the other one. The unboxing is going to be exactly the same. So, you take that little tab off, whether you do it at the store or you do it at home, slide it off, pull up on here. This will open up the box, take it out. And then, again, you have your cloth and your instructions and all that stuff down there. Here's your case. But this one is going to be the clear frame. And this is actually the one that I really wanted, but it wasn't available. Or it hadn't been available, but it actually became available at a store that I was at today, so I decided to go ahead and pick it up as well. So again, same frame, which is the Houston model. So we'll slide these off, but the difference is that this frame is completely clear. Check it out. So you can see all the inner workings. I like that the icon is silver also, to kind of match the aesthetics. So check it out on this side. So everything is completely clear. You can see the inside in here. In the front right there, you can see where stuff connects to the cameras and the LEDs and stuff like that. So everything is still there. You have your little toggle switch that I spoke about on the other frame right there, so on the inside there. So really, really cool. But the main difference is, and the difference in price of $399 US versus $479 US, is the lens itself. This is a transition lens. So right now, because I'm inside, you can see that it is completely clear. But when you go outside, it actually changes to a gray, like a dark gray lens. So, because of that, you do have a little bit more of a price increase. Transition lenses are generally going to be a little bit more expensive. So let me see if I have a flashlight to kind of show you guys that. I think I do. Let me double check if this is, yes, this is a UV flashlight. All right, so I just turned it on. So let me go ahead and shine it over the lens right here. And you can almost see how quickly that turned. So there it is, just a couple seconds of shining that light on there. So now you can see the difference between the clear lens and the dark gray lens. And now, obviously, when you go outside, it'll get a lot darker. So here it is, just a couple seconds, just shining that light directly onto the lens. But as you go outside, these will darken up very, very quickly. And that's one of the really cool things, is they use their actually a new transition technology for this frame, where the lenses darken up very, very quickly. I know in the past, some transition lenses, it took some time for it to to darken up. But also, when you go back inside, outside of the UV rays, the lens will transition back to clear. You can almost see it happening now. Very, very quickly. So I did like that. And, I was really looking forward to this pair. I actually ended up picking up this one because again, it was the entry-level one. But then today I was at a local Oakley store and they had it available, so I decided to go ahead and pick it up as well. Primarily so you guys can see the difference between the two models. Now, as I mentioned, there are other color options as far as the frame goes. There are other color options as far as the lenses go. I know that the one that's been all over social media has been the kind of white frame with the gold lenses. Now that was like a limited edition that came out, and that's the one that all the like the influencers and all the athletes and all that stuff were promoting. That has since, I believe, sold out. So this is the option, the other option. I like this one. I like the white or the warm gray with the ruby. Ruby is actually one of my favorite color lenses, so I really do like that one. But with this one, what it does give you is the ability to have your glasses on. And again, if you don't wear prescription glasses, that's fine. and still be inside and use them. So it's not going to be a pair of sunglasses that you're wearing inside. So this actually kind of gives you the best of both worlds. It gives you the clear lenses when you're inside, but then when you go outside, they darken up and it gives you your sunglasses. I don't think the gray is going to be as dark as the Prizm Ruby. That's the only drawback. But again, they're dark enough to do whatever it is that you're going to have to be doing, unless you're like in a bright sunny, like at the beach or something like that. Then obviously the darker lenses would be a little bit better. What I'm going to do now is I'll turn the camera on and I'll put both of these on so you guys can kind of see what they look like on me. That way, if you're looking for a particular color combination, you can see what that looks like. All right, so we're going to start with the warm gray with the ruby. I'll put these on. Again, they're very tight. As soon as you put them on, if you have them paired and stuff like that, they'll make a noise like it just did it now when I turned them on, or when I put them on, I should say. So I guess it kind of knows when you have them on. So that's really cool. But here it is. This is a really nice, sporty looking frame. I do like that. It's very retro looking in my opinion, that white with the, or warm gray with the ruby lenses. It pairs really nice with, you know, like a white shirt or a red shirt or stuff like that. But this is going to be your entry level, in my opinion, the entry level model, $399 US. If you have never had Ray-Ban Metas, if you're looking into you know, AI sunglasses and stuff like that, this is probably what I would recommend. You know, it's not going to be as expensive as the other ones, but it's going to give you the same experience. Now, I do want to mention that regardless of what model you go with, you're going to get the same features, same battery life, same, you know, megapixel, same everything. The only thing that changes is the color of the lenses and the color of the frame. So again, this is the warm gray with the ruby. As I mentioned, when you first put them on, they are a little tight. Now, I'm assuming because of the material, it's probably going to expand a little bit as you wear it and stuff like that. So it's not going to be as tight. But, you know, obviously that's a little bit of a drawback because you don't want it to loosen up too much where they're going to be falling off. But so far, I haven't heard of that happening. But I know it's a common consensus where people have been saying they do feel a little tight when you put them on. All right. So that is the warm gray with ruby. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the other one. Again, this is the clear frame with the transition lenses. So obviously right now it's going to be a pair of clear glasses, so clear lenses. So let's take a look at the frame itself. So as you guys can see, this is really cool. It lets you see all the inner workings. So this is, you know, if you're into technology, if you're like a techie nerd or something like that, this is going to be the pair that you're going to want. This is the one that caught my eye just because, you know, you can see right into it. Now there is another frame that is also see-through, but it's more of a smoke, like a brown color frame, like a light brown. So, but that one does have regular sunglasses. It actually has the water lenses or the deep water lenses. So again, it depends on what it is that you're looking for. But I like this one because I like the clear. Clear goes with everything, and I think it looks really, really cool. Now I like the fact that you can see the inside right here, and it's kind of darker, like black. It almost looks like it's the rimless or like semi-rimless glasses, you know, just like with the black on top. So that looks really cool. Like it would be the frame itself, but the frame is actually clear. What you're seeing is the inside, the inner workings of the glasses themselves. So again, this is, if you're inside, you know, the lenses have not been exposed to UV light, this is what they're going to look like. What I'll do real quick is let me go ahead and turn this flashlight on again, see if I can darken up these lenses a little bit, just so I can give you a little bit more of a look at what they're going to look when they darken up some. Again, this is just me exposing the lenses with UV, with a UV flashlight here, just to give you a quick demonstration. But when you go outside, the rays of the sun will, you know, do that for you. So let me go ahead and put these on now. All right, so this is what they look like now, a little bit darker. So I'll let it kind of lighten up now, because obviously since there's no more UV rays hitting the lenses, they will lighten up in a little bit. But as you guys can see, just a couple seconds of me using that UV flashlight darken up the lenses here. So again, this is the best of both worlds. It gives you those clear lenses, so when you're inside, you can still have your frames on. If you're going to be listening to music, if you're going to be using the assistant, taking pictures, taking videos, things like that. But if you go outside and do that, then the lenses will darken up, and now you have your sunglasses. So this is one of those frames. Again, it's $479 US, but this is if you want to have the ability to use your Metas, your Oakley Metas, in more than just outside in the sun. If you want to use them indoors, if you want to use them outdoors, it gives you more of that flexibility. Now, don't get me wrong. If you want to keep the warm gray frame with the Prizm Ruby lenses while you're inside, hey, more power to you. If you're the type of person that likes wearing sunglasses inside, then by all means, you know, you can go ahead and have dual usage of that frame. But, you know, for like myself, I don't feel comfortable just wearing sunglasses inside, especially at work or something like that. So I would want to have something that's more of a clear lens. So as you guys can see, the lenses are lightening up. Now you can start to see my eyes right there, and they will go back from that gray all the way down to the clear lens. So this is the frame that I was really looking forward to seeing in person, and this is the one that I'm probably going to be using more often. The other one, is one that I wanted to, kind of start off with that one. So I wanted to obviously showcase it for you guys too. So again, this is just my initial impressions on them. I need to get a little bit more accustomed to how they work and pair them with the app and all that stuff in order to do another video. But I will be making a follow-up video where I'm going to go more in depth into the usage of the actual glasses, what everything means, what the button when you press the button. I didn't mention that earlier, but there is a button right on the top right here, and I believe that's what you use to like take pictures or take videos or use the assistant or stuff like that. But again, I need to learn all that for myself. So there it is. I just wanted to give you a look at the new Oakley Oakley Meta Houston on the tailcoats of the Ray-Ban Metas. If you're an Oakley fan, if you've been looking at picking up AI assisted sunglasses or something like that, I would definitely recommend you check them out. Now, if you want to wait, I know that this is just the beginning. I believe Oakley will be coming out with more stuff in the future, but if you do want to jump on the bandwagon, I suggest that you do. I really like them. Again, this is just my initial impressions and fit and stuff like that, but I'm an Oakley fan. I'm a nerdy techie guy, so this is right up my alley. I had actually been looking at picking up a pair of the Ray-Ban version, but when I heard that Oakley was coming out with their own, I decided to wait, and here they are. So there it is. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.